In the fast-paced, unpredictable world we live in, stressful situations are bound to arise. Whether it's in our personal lives, at work, or in the larger societal context, challenges will test us. When these challenges arrive, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or even defeated. However, the wisdom of Stoicism offers a powerful framework to help us navigate stress with calmness and resilience. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded in Greece by Zeno of Citium, teaches us to focus on what we can control, to accept what we cannot, and to cultivate inner peace regardless of external circumstances. In this guide, we'll explore how the Stoic principles can help us manage and reduce stress, no matter how chaotic life may get. 1. Focus on what you can control. One of the most important teachings of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. In stressful times, it's easy to become fixated on external factors: a difficult boss, an illness, financial pressures, or societal unrest. The Stoics, however, remind us that we should not waste energy on things beyond our control. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Epictetus: when stress begins to mount, take a step back and ask yourself, what aspects of this situation are within my control? For example, if you're facing a tough deadline at work, you can't control the fact that the deadline is approaching, but you can control how you manage your time, how you communicate with your team, and how you prioritize your tasks. By focusing only on your actions, you prevent yourself from being swept up in the stress of the uncontrollable. The Stoics also remind us to practice patience. Stress often comes from the expectation of immediate results or the desire to control every outcome. Instead of obsessing over the future or lamenting past mistakes, focus on the present moment and do your best. The future will unfold as it will, and worrying about it doesn't change the outcome. 2. Accept what you cannot control. In addition to focusing on what you can control, Stoicism teaches the importance of accepting what you cannot control. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. Rather, it's about understanding that there are forces beyond our influence and making peace with them. Grant that I may meet with courage the things that come, not knowing whether they will be good or bad. Seneca: during stressful times, it's common to get caught up in frustration, resentment, or anger about things outside your control. The Stoics remind us that our suffering often arises from our resistance to accepting these uncontrollable events. If we can learn to let go of our desire to control everything, we reduce unnecessary stress. This principle applies to a wide range of situations. If you're dealing with a personal loss, for instance, there is no way to reverse what has happened. The Stoic approach is to accept the reality of the situation, understanding that grief is a natural part of life, and then to choose how to respond. You can choose to honor the memory of your loved one, carry forward their values, and focus on what is still within your control. 3. Practice mindfulness and emotional awareness. Stress often arises from our emotional reactions to events. When something doesn't go our way, or when we feel threatened, our natural instinct is to react emotionally. Stoicism encourages us to be aware of these reactions and to practice emotional regulation. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Marcus Aurelius: instead of giving in to anger, frustration, or anxiety, the Stoic way is to observe these feelings without judgment. By doing so, we create space between the stimulus, the stressful event, and our response, our emotions. This practice is akin to mindfulness, where we allow ourselves to experience emotions fully, but do not let them control us. When stressful situations arise, take a moment to pause and reflect before reacting. Ask yourself, What is this feeling teaching me? What is my initial emotional reaction, and why do I feel this way? By becoming aware of your emotions, you can choose how to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. 4. Reframe the situation. The Stoics believed that it is not the event itself that causes stress, but our judgment of the event. A challenging situation may seem overwhelming, but if we change our perspective, we can see it in a new light. This reframing is a powerful tool for reducing stress. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius, when confronted with a stressful situation, instead of viewing it as a burden, try to see it as an opportunity for growth. For example, if you're dealing with a difficult colleague, rather than seeing them as an obstacle, think of them as a teacher. What can you learn from the way they challenge you? How can you develop more patience, understanding, or conflict resolution skills? By reframing challenges as opportunities, you turn stress into a catalyst for personal growth. Similarly, when something goes wrong, remember that failure is an essential part of life. Stoicism encourages us to see failure not as a defeat, but as a stepping stone on the path to success. Every setback is a chance to learn, improve, and refine our approach. 5. Embrace discomfort and hardship. Stoics believe that hardship is a natural part of life, and rather than avoiding discomfort, we should learn to embrace it. This doesn't mean seeking out unnecessary suffering, but rather cultivating resilience by facing discomfort with courage and equanimity. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus, in stressful times, we often wish for relief or an easy solution. But Stoicism teaches that true growth comes when we confront difficulties head-on. Whether it's physical discomfort, emotional pain, or mental strain, learning to endure hardship builds inner strength. One way to apply this in your life is by setting challenges for yourself. For example, you might choose to engage in daily physical exercise, practice cold exposure, such as cold showers or ice baths, or take on difficult tasks that push you beyond your comfort zone. By voluntarily embracing discomfort, you strengthen your ability to handle stress when it inevitably arises. 6. Practice gratitude. Amid the stress of daily life, it's easy to forget the blessings we have. However, gratitude is a central tenet of Stoicism. The Stoics encourage us to regularly reflect on what we have, rather than focusing on what we lack. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus, when stressed, take a moment to pause and count your blessings. Reflect on the things that are going well in your life, your health, your family, the opportunities you have, and the lessons you've learned. Gratitude helps shift our focus away from what's wrong in our lives and instead directs our attention to what is right. This practice can be particularly powerful during stressful times. By actively practicing gratitude, you build resilience and reduce the tendency to dwell on negativity. In the midst of adversity, it is possible to find joy in the small things, whether it's a warm cup of coffee, a moment of laughter with a friend, or the beauty of nature. 7. Detach from the outcome. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our efforts and actions, not the outcomes. The future is uncertain, and there is no way to guarantee success or avoid failure. However, we do have control over our actions and our mindset. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Epicurus' stress often arises from a fear of failure or anxiety about the future. Instead of fixating on the end result, focus on doing your best in the present moment. If you're working on a project, give it your full attention and effort. If you're facing a personal challenge, put in the work to improve yourself. without stressing about what might happen next. When you detach from the outcome, you free yourself from the burden of expectations. You focus on the process and enjoy the satisfaction that comes from doing your best, regardless of the result. 8. Cultivate a supportive community. Even the Stoics, who prized self-sufficiency, recognized the importance of community. Stress can be isolating, but one of the most effective ways to cope with difficult times is by leaning on those around you. Surround yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals who uplift you and help you stay grounded. We are social beings, and our relationships are crucial to our well-being. Marcus Aurelius. A strong community provides emotional support, perspective, and encouragement during stressful times. Whether it's family, friends, or a group of fellow Stoics, having people you trust can help reduce feelings of isolation and overwhelm. Additionally, a sense of belonging helps remind us that we are not alone in our struggles. Stoicism teaches us to give back to our community, to offer kindness and support to others, and to recognize the value of meaningful connections. In times of stress, remember that you can be a source of strength for others as well. Conclusion. Stress is an inevitable part of life, but how we respond to it is within our control. By embracing the principles of Stoicism, we can navigate even the most stressful situations with calm, clarity, and resilience. Focus on what you can control, accept what you cannot, and practice gratitude for the present moment. Reframe challenges as opportunities for growth, and embrace discomfort as a tool for building resilience. By cultivating a supportive community and detaching from the outcome, you can transform stress into a catalyst for personal and collective growth. In a world filled with uncertainty and turmoil, the Stoic approach offers a timeless guide for maintaining inner peace and thriving in the face of adversity. Remember that stress is not something that happens to you. It's how you choose to respond. Choose wisely, and you will find that even in the most stressful of times, you can still find tranquility.